A few months ago, in a quiet corner of Japan, a baby monkey was abandoned by his own mother, just one single day after he came into the world. One day. He hadn't even learned what his mother's face looked like, and already she was gone. There was no one left to hold him, no one to curl around him at night, no one to shield him from the cold, from the noise, from the other animals. And no one to teach him the one thing every newborn desperately needs to learn: how to survive. So the people caring for him did the only thing they could think of. They reached for a stuffed orangutan toy, soft and worn, and they placed it in his tiny arms. And in that moment, that little toy became his entire world. If you haven't heard this story yet, stay with me, because I want to tell it to you the way it deserves to be told. At a small zoo in Ichikawa City, Japan, there lives a Japanese macaque named Punchikun, Punch for short. He was born in July of 2025, and from the very beginning, his mother wanted nothing to do with him. She turned away. She left him lying there, helpless. So the zookeepers stepped in and became the family he never had. They fed him from a bottle, through the day and through the long, quiet hours of the night. And they gave him that soft plush toy, hoping that maybe, just maybe, this little one could feel something close to the warmth of a mother's arms. Now, I'll be honest with you. This video kept showing up in my feed for days, and every single time I scrolled right past it. Just another cute animal clip, I told myself. But something kept tugging at me, something I couldn't shake. So recently, I did something I almost never do. I gathered my family, and we went to that zoo ourselves, just to see Punch with our own eyes. And let me tell you, I stood in a line that seemed to stretch on forever. Hundreds of strangers, shoulder to shoulder, all of us waiting in the heat, all of us there for the very same reason: to see one tiny monkey clinging to a stuffed toy. And when I finally reached the front, when I finally saw him with my own two eyes, something inside me just broke. Because hidden inside this tiny, fragile creature are 4 lessons. 4 lessons that the old masters of Japan, the samurai, the sages, spent their entire lives trying to understand. And here's the truth that stopped me cold. Most people who watch these clips see nothing but something adorable. They smile, they share it, and they move on. They don't see what a samurai would have seen. So let me share these 4 lessons with you, one by one, because wisdom like this is rare, and it doesn't come along often. The first lesson is about finding your anchor. When Punch was placed into an enclosure with 60 other monkeys, he had no mother to shield him, no family to stand beside him. And the others? They pushed him away. They scolded him. Some of them even dragged him across the hard ground. Imagine that. A newborn, alone, surrounded by a crowd that wanted him gone. But every single time it happened, Punch did the same thing. He ran straight back to that stuffed orangutan, and he held on with everything he had. The Japanese have a word for this: shinen. A core belief so deep that nothing in the world can shake it. The samurai understood something we so often forget: that life will try to strip everything away from you. Your comfort, your people, your sense of safety. But if you have just one anchor, one thing that keeps you steady, you can survive any storm that comes. Punch found his anchor in a soft toy, and that toy gave him the strength to face a world that had already decided it wanted nothing to do with him. The second lesson is about resilience, and this one, I promise you, will stay with you. Watch the videos closely, and you'll see it happen again and again. Punch walks up to the other monkeys. He tries to play. He tries to connect, to belong, to be one of them. And every single time, they turn him away. They reject him. But here's the part that absolutely stunned me. He does not stop. He gets knocked down. He stumbles back to his toy. He holds it close for just a moment to catch his breath. And then he walks right back out there and tries all over again. There's an old Japanese saying you may have heard: Nana korobi ya oki. Fall down 7 times, stand up 8. Punch has been knocked down more times than anyone could ever count, and every single time he rises. Even the zookeepers noticed it. They said, Punch gets scolded, he gets pushed around, but he shows real resilience, a real strength of mind. Think about that for a second. A baby monkey, barely months old, is teaching millions of people around the world what it truly means to never, ever give up. The third lesson is about the quiet power of softness. Years ago, there was a famous experiment where baby monkeys were given 2 fake mothers to choose from. One was made of cold, hard wire, and that one gave them food. The other was made of soft cloth, and it gave them nothing at all. No milk, no nourishment, nothing. And you know what the babies chose every single time? The soft one. Because they needed warmth even more than they needed to eat. Punch made that very same choice. He chose softness over survival itself. The Japanese call this yawarakai chikara, gentle strength. We live in a world that constantly tells us to be hard, to be cold, to build walls and never let anything in. But Punch reminds us of something we've forgotten. Being soft is not the same as being weak. Sometimes the single bravest thing you can do is hold on tight to something gentle, while everything around you is doing its best to break you apart. And the fourth lesson, the hardest one of all, is about belonging to yourself. The other monkeys never accepted Punch, not once. He is an outsider in his own home, a stranger among his own kind. But watch him closely. Really look at him. He doesn't beg for their approval. He doesn't twist himself into something he's not just to squeeze his way in. He keeps his toy, he keeps his spirit, and he keeps walking his own path, one small step at a time. The Japanese call this jibun wo shinjiru, to believe in yourself. Punch doesn't need the group to tell him that he matters. His worth doesn't rise or fall on whether they let him in. And this, my friend, is the lesson that cuts the deepest. Because so many of us spend our entire lives chasing the approval of people who were never going to truly let us belong. We bend, we shrink, we change who we are, all for a group that will never see our real value. When I stood at that zoo with my family, watching this small, determined monkey hold his stuffed toy against his chest, I didn't see an abandoned animal anymore. I saw a teacher. I saw a tiny creature who somehow understood something that most of us spend a lifetime trying to learn. Here is what he was telling us, without a single word. The world will reject you at some point. Your own family might turn and walk away. The groups you ache to be part of might shove you right back out the door. But if you have your anchor, if you carry your resilience, if you find the courage to stay soft in a hard world, and if you truly believe in yourself, then you don't need anyone's permission to belong. You never did. There's a hashtag that spread all across the world because of this little one, and it says it perfectly. Hang in there, Punch. But you know what? I think if Punch could speak, he'd say the exact same thing right back to every one of us. Hang in there, human. Whatever you're carrying right now, whatever's trying to break you, hold on. You are so much stronger than you could ever know. Thank you for watching.